Well, I've got a bet with Connor and I.
What's the bet?
We keep having a bet, £1,000 to make 80. Oh, it's double, isn't it? Yeah, it's double. He said I've got to make 85 kilos.
Wow, man.
What are you on at the moment?
Yeah, I can't tell you. That's between. I'll let him think that I'm at near 90. So you know what I mean. I've got until Friday to make the weight. That's all I've got to do. Once I make the weight.
Oh, it's on Friday, yeah.
Friday.
Wow, brilliant.
You're going to record the weigh-in, Nigel. You've got to record it.
You can record what you want, mate. And then when you record, in parting with the money, Jake. That's what I really want.
That's what you want to record. Him giving the money over. That's it.
Yeah. Show me the money.
Is he all right at parting with his money, Nigel?
Nah, he's tight, mate. He's butt squeaks, mate. He don't part with nothing, mate. He starts bringing other things. Oh, what about the last time you owe me my IOU? Why do you keep bringing up IOU? We said no. We're gonna have the slate clean. We said all right, the slate clean, but he's still bringing up. He's got to me. I don't want you just losing fluid and all that. I want you to lose it properly. I said, no, it's not about that. When the boxer gets on the scales, regardless how he makes the weight, he's just got to make the weight. We don't say how he's got to do it. He's got to make
exactly.
With Connor, he's got to have it the way he wants it.
Brilliant.
Moaning there over there.
Nigel, thanks so much.
As long as I make the weight, I'm all right. It's not about Vic sealed the bet. No. You see what I'm saying?
There's some serious money on this, Nigel.
I just got to make 85 kilos, and he's already arguing. I've got to do it the right way. What rubbish!
You can do it how you want.
What is the right way?
Oh, not fluid, not dehydrating and all that. Oh.
Wow.
The weight's the weight, isn't it?
Get about him. Let's have a chat, lads.
Yeah, let's do it, mate. Listen, thanks so much for coming on the podcast, Nigel. Really appreciate it, mate.
Yeah, no problem. All day long, mate. We go back years, mate. We go back years.
Yeah, sure. Listen, Nigel, how are you coping with lockdown?
I'll be honest with you. I've been with Connor since February. We've just had it's actually been the best time that I've been here. We've actually had a friend who's let us use his gym, so we just me and Connor just going in there, and we've just been training. So from February, so I do 9 to 11, and then I do 5 to 7 every single day. We ain't failed. Wow. We've just been in the gym training.
Yeah, you won't break that routine either, will you? I spoke to you about that the other week. You said, I said anything you want, but not between 9 and 11.
Yeah.
And 5 and 7, you're done.
Yeah, that's it. You can work in between there, but you're not going to break me training.
Yeah, brilliant.
Have you sorry, that's what I was going to ask, Spence.
Yeah, have you always trained since you retired, Nigel?
Oh yeah, I've not stopped. I think it's actually like me bipolar kicking in. It's like I just got to train. I just got to train. I can't sit down and do nothing. I just got to train. I think it came back from the army days. Just training. I feel I don't know. I just get bored if I'm not training.
Yeah. You talked about the army there. Did you start boxing before you went in the army, or did you start boxing after the army?
No, with street fighting before winning the army. Fighting the National Front back in the 80s. Well, the late 70s, early 80s. Right. Yeah, but you know what? We laugh about it then. You get hit by a 4x2. Nobody walking around with a bloody Mac 10 like what they are now. It's crazy. So it was growing up, just fighting my way through life, mate. Just fighting my way. What
area was that, Nigel? Whereabouts did you grow up?
Well, I lived in Ilford, but we always used to end up going to Barking.
Right.
Back in
as you do.
Rough, and Dagenham back in very rough. But you look at it now. But back in the day, it's we shouldn't have gone to places that we shouldn't. It was like going to Mississippi. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh
In
man.
the day.
So you went in the army. How did you get into the boxing? How did it all start, Nigel? How did you first get into the boxing?
Well, my brother John was in the army. He was in there, and he was in the boxing team. Back in the he was in the army. He was in the army in the 70s, So I kind of followed him, because if I didn't follow him, I know I was going to end up inside. So I joined the army at 17. Spent 4 years, 256 days in the army. And the best move I ever done. Absolutely best move I ever done, mate. You know, it made me who I was today. I had that, and it was so funny. I remember when I was running, I came in second, and the sergeant major goes, excuse my French, goes, "Oh, you look, there's somebody better than you. Somebody better than you." He said, "Be number one, second to no one." And if you watch the end of the Joe McClellan fight, I said that same thing. I said, "I'm number one, second to no one." It reminded me what the sergeant major said to me back when I was 17. It all came, be number one, second to no one. And I've always had that saying, and I always believed that, being number one, second to no one. And I said that straight after the Joe McClellan fight to Don King.
Yeah, the army had a big impact on your life, didn't it? 100%. Do you remember your army number?
Yeah, 2460 4617 Fusilier Band, 1st Battalion Royal Regiment Fusilier. Sir!
Brilliant. Oh, that's brilliant.
It must be imprinted in your brain, isn't it? Once you've learned it like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I've been at the army now since 1985.
Wow, that's incredible. So when you left the army, Nigel, did you go straight into boxing then?
No, because you know what it was? It was so funny when I come out of the army. I was in security corps, group 4. When they were good, when they were good. It was like, I could get any security job that I wanted. I didn't even think about boxing. I won every fight in the army. I even went up to heavyweight to fight a guy called George J, who beat my brother. I was only welterweight, but I went up just to fight him, just to have him come back down.
Wow.
That was it. I never lost a fight, won all the titles in the army, every single title. And then afterwards, I thought to myself, I'll come out of the army. Sometimes I was doing like 15-hour shifts when I was doing security, like I was a store detective in Woolworths, everything. It's so funny, jobs that I had, and I wasn't good at that. I was all catching the wrong people. Yeah, I've got to put something in his pocket. Hey, come here. And I'd be like, sorry, I saw you put something in I wasn't good at that. And so I thought to myself, I wasn't bad at boxing because I never lost a fight. And then I thought to myself, yeah, you know what? Yeah, maybe I could be Southern Area champion. I might have a shot at the British. I don't know, but I think I'll just stick with the Southern Area title. You know, and that was it. That was my limit. All I wanted was a 3-bedroom terrace house like my dad. He had a Cortina Mark 1. I said, if I can get a BMW, I'll be one step above him. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's all I wanted. I didn't want much.
Wow. When did you realise that actually you was going to go on further than a Southern Area or a British title? When did you realise you actually had it, Nigel?
I tell you what, Spence, I don't know. I had 22 fights, 22 wins, like that. God, I can make £1,000 a fight from knocking somebody out. Because you got to remember, before I joined the army, I remember it clearly. It's like God reminds me. I was getting £36.40 every 2 weeks. I remember that it was like signing on. Wow. I remember that £36.40. That's what I used to get every 2 weeks.
Incredible.
It was a blessing.
And all of a sudden, you were getting £1,000 a fight.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. I went crazy. You know what I mean? It was just like, it was. And I had for like 22 fights, 22 wins, 22 KOs. I thought to myself, I'm unstoppable. By that time, I wasn't even actually thinking about being world champion. It was like, then I met a guy called Michael Watson. And I thought, I'll be honest with you, I thought, what can he do to me? I really did. I didn't have no fear whatsoever. And I remember the night before, the afternoon before, the afternoon, I went and got my hair all done in plaits. What was I thinking? I had all my hair pulled back really tight. I was like a black Chinese man. All my hair was pulled right back so tight. This is like 5 hours before the fight. What was I thinking? And then I come out in a Gary Glitter outfit. Did you see that? Oh
I did, mate. I remember it clearly, yeah. I remember the hairstyle clearly as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there was such a big noise around you at that time with, like you say, 22 fights, 22 knockouts. and it was a fight you was expected to win. Was you surprised by Watson?
No, because you know what it was? It was so funny, Spence. It was like I was on like half a tank already because all the nervous energy all building up. I weren't scared at all. I was just like, so I've gone in there on half empty tank. And then as soon as I went out there, first gear, I didn't have a second gear. I only had first gear. And I remember trying everything. It was hitting me, but it was like, I don't know, it was just like bee stings, nothing. But then I came back in round 5 and I can see the light was flashing, so like we're nearly on empty. We're on empty. And I remember my trainer went to me, now go out there and steam him. So I'm looking in the boxing pamphlet, oh, steam him. Oh, I can't find that in here, mate. I'm banging trouble. And then all he done, Michael just done a jab, and I went down. It was just like, it was no power. It was just like, I was so exhausted. And it was so funny. You got to remember that before we went in the fight, I had a big, massive entourage. Everybody was here cheering me on, psyching me up, and I was already pumped. And I remember after the fight, because you lost, you feel everything. Even the referee that pushed me in the chest, I think, oh, that referee that done that, you feel everything. When you win, you don't feel nothing. When you lose, you feel everything. Yeah. And it was so funny. I went back to the changing room. It was like you could hear a pin drop in there. It was so empty, Jake. It was like.
No,
where
that
is everybody? It was like everyone was like, look, Nige, look, I'm gonna go and hang out with Michael. When you win the title, give me a ring and I'll come looking for you. You're on your own.
So how did you recover? How did you recover from that loss, Nigel? Obviously,
I tell you what it was. I went home, cried me eyes out for about a week. Then I dust myself off, and I said, I can't train it. I'm not learning nothing.
Yeah.
And so I went to America, and I remember I didn't like sparring. I can't stand sparring. Some like Conor thrives on it. I don't. I don't like getting punched hard and not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I remember I was sparring with Freddie Pendleton, who was a great boxer before he met Ricky Hatton. He was only like well at the time. And I was sparring with him, and all of a sudden, I'd throw a punch to hit him, and he'd go bang, 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 and then my headgear would go flying, and I think, oh no. And then I think to myself, oh Lord, can you just break my ankle or something? I didn't like sparring. And then I moved up to spar with a cruiserweight called Adelphus Washington. And I mean, he looked like the spitting image of Mike Tyson coming out. Oh no! For the first 6 weeks, I was just getting bashed around for the first 6 weeks.
What gym was this, Nigel? Where was this?
Fifth Street Gym in Miami.
Yeah.
So you regrouped after the Watson loss. You took yourself over to America, didn't you? And it was literally a year later. You beat Doug DeWitt for the world title. I mean, that's an amazing turnaround.
So what happened? I had 3 fights because I didn't know if I could do 10 rounds.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. I've always banged everybody out, so I thought to myself, can I really do 10 rounds? And then they brought this guy in there called Jorge Amparo. I mean, his head was bigger than Eubank's, but he was like really big. He was scary. And like I had to box him because I mean, my shots are just bouncing off of his head. And I thought, oh, this is going to be a long night, you know? And once I knew that I could do 10 rounds, it was so much of a relief that I could do 10 rounds. Then I fought Sanderline Williams in Atlantic City, done another 10 rounder. And then I fought Quinones, who knocked out Earl Christie. I sparked him in 2 rounds. And then it was Doug DeWitt.
Yeah, but I mean, that was an amazing turnaround, mate, from losing Watson in like literally 12 months. Yeah. Did you find that going away was good for you? Did you find that was...
Absolutely. I had no stress. I was on my own. I was on my own, living in Miami was absolutely, absolutely a godsend. You had these big mansions over in front of you. I was on like Washington Avenue. You had the beach right behind me, so it was absolutely just perfect for me training.
Do you remember Scott Maslin from them times, Nigel? He said the actor. We had him on the podcast. He said he used to hang out with you in Miami. He was modelling at that time. Scott Maslin.
Oh, yes, he was a good-looking guy.
That's it. Don't tell him that.
From Chigwell Way or something round that way.
Yeah,
that's right.
that's it.
But he's got all his nose done in. He had a couple of fights.
That's it.
He had a couple of fights. His nose went there.
Yeah.
He was a good-looking lad.
That's it.
Yeah. Very good-looking lad. I think he had I don't know. He had a couple of fights through his spine, but when he finished, mate, I don't know how many fights he had there, but yeah, he was out there with me. And the guy from Liverpool, Nigel Wenton, that was it, Nigel Wenton.
Yeah, Richie Wenton's brother, Nigel. He was tough. He was tough, Nigel. He was a good fighter. Yeah.
Good fighter, but not dedicated.
No.
Very good fighter.
Yeah. It's such a fine line, isn't there, from guys that are from guys that sort of like, so Nigel was like he was like a trial horse, really. That's what he was, but he was good enough to be a champion. No, but like you say, I think it's the dedication.
He was very good. He had a good body shot. He was a good body puncher, but he wasn't dedicated. You got to be dedicated, but he was really, I thought it was a class act. Some of the shots that he used to let off, man, with the body shots, but it just weren't dedicated enough.
Yeah.
So Nigel, a year after that loss to Watson, you go in versus your first fight versus Eubank. Were you confident going into that fight?
Eubank?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you doing that now? Or because I was going to go through the Don't Do It, I was going to go through the Iron Barkley.
Oh yeah, no, go through it.
Do it, man, go for it.
Because I think at the end there, because then I want you to understand the feeling of fighting Doug DeWitt. It was like, he's been in with Tommy Hearns, I remember we coming out, Jake, and he looked at me and he goes, at the press conference, we had face to face, he goes, "You're going down." I said, "Yeah, I might go down, but you're going to stay down." That was my attitude. I was 26 at the time. And at that time, Jake, we had 8-ounce gloves. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Listen, 8-ounce gloves, right? And it was like, there was no padding. They were like, I could actually feel my knuckles.
Wow.
And I remember the first round come out. The first round? No, the second round. Where did he put me down? The first or second round? Second round.
Second rounds, yeah.
Put me down, yeah. We both done a left hook together. And he hit me right on the money. But what it was so perfect. I didn't feel it. You hit to get up in the temple. They're the ones that send you all loopy. And he hit me on the jaw and I went down and my legs just went. And then after I was looking at the referee and I remember it clearly. I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." I didn't feel nothing. And then the bell just went. And I thought, right, now it's your turn to face the canvas. And then, but I was hitting him so hard, I could actually feel my knuckles.
Yeah.
He connected really hard. It was like nothing there.
Wow.
Nothing there. I was 26. I was just so motivated that I was just going to bash him for like 8-9 rounds. That's all I done. And I know I was hurting him. He didn't hurt me.
Were you the kind of fighter, Nigel? You had to take a couple to sort of really wake you up and get you going, or
that was always the case, Jake. But I didn't like getting hit. But that was always the case. When I was in a corner and I was getting getting hit hard, I don't know, something inside me just like fires me up. Most of the time when I was in trouble, that was when I was at my most dangerous. When I was hurt.
Yeah, I think that's why you were so exciting to watch, Nigel. Because you used to get backed up, but when you were watching you think, "Fuck, he's going to come out any second now. He's going to come out."
I don't know what is like. Something like alarm bells were going off in my head, and I'm saying, "What's going on here?" And then I just dug in, and that's it. I don't know. Maybe the army discipline just kind of took over.
Yeah.
So one fight, we'll get to the next fight, and I can tell you how. I just kind of in my subconscious, but we'll get to that fight later on. But like going back to after winning the world title, then this guy I didn't know called Simply the Best. I thought, where did he come from? I didn't even know what. Because one thing I've got to give Chris, I mean, he's the sharpest dresser going, mate. He put on a suit and it'll fit him like a glove, mate. He had his monocle, his choppers and all that. Like, he carried it off, he looked good, you know what I mean? But, you know, he was one of these guys that I just didn't like him. The way that he carried on is like the Queen should be living in hose and he should be in Buckingham Palace, you know what I mean? He had that character, but he just didn't know how to rub me up the wrong way.
Yeah.
He had that. And one thing about Chris, he had, I'll be honest with you, I've never seen a physique like his.
Yeah.
He had muscle on top of muscle, and he had a neck that was out here. Yeah. He had a jaw. His head was shaped like a mallet. So every time I was hitting it, it was just bouncing off. It was like, king, it's not working. And I remember when we come out, we looked at him because I just wanted to have a war with him. It's like red mist, seeing him there. And he's doing all of that. You know what he's like. He's going to wind me up. And then he hit me a couple of times. I thought, whoa. Went from the Dark Destroyer to Shaky Stevens. I was all over the place. He was hitting me so hard. And I thought, wow. I underestimated his punching power, man.
Really? Strong. Was he strong? Yeah.
Yeah, he was for that night. He was strong, mate. He was on his game. I don't know how many times he wobbled me.
It was an incredible war, and how many times you wobbled him as well.
Nah, he wobbled me much more than that, mate. I can assure you, mate. I had a lot of stiff legs in there a couple of times, and you know what it is? You know when your legs go, I think, did you see that? And he's like, yeah, I saw that.
You both ended up in quite a bad way after that fight, actually, didn't you? Who was it? You that broke your jaw, or was it Chris that broke his jaw?
No, I had my eye out.
Right, that's right.
It was really damaged, but because every time he was hitting me, it was like someone pricking a needle on my eye. It was just like, but it was just pain, just going straight up to my head, and I couldn't see nothing. What was coming, mate? It was just like big bombs, and he can bang some.
Yeah.
He can some.
Would you say that was one of your toughest fights, Nigel? Was it one of your toughest opponents, Chris?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he was one of my toughest opponents because we had that rivalry as well. So that makes it more worse than what it really was. You know what I mean? Because we had that rivalry that you just didn't want to lose to him. You know what I mean? Because you know, I'm going to get one of these. I had to go because when I lost to Michael Watson, I went, yeah, well done, Michael. And he was just a humble man. The other person, he's just going to stir. He's just going to keep stirring.
Yeah.
Listen, Nigel, going back to before the fight, can you remember the first time you ever met Chris Eubank?
No. Do you know what it is? I don't know. I don't know where we met, but we just know it was just fireworks anyway, because it was just we just clashed straight away. There was no like with Michael Watson, it's like, Mike, how you doing? Blah blah blah. But with Chris, it was completely different. We just it was like negative, man, both of us.
Yeah. Was it genuine, the dislike between the pair of you? Like it was genuine. 100%. And how's it today?
I don't see him. I would not. You know what it was? If I think because we're not fighting no more, I'd sing his praises because you know what I mean. He was a good fighter. So I wouldn't hold nothing against him. You know, it'd be nice to sit down and have a chat with him. You know, because I think we packed 47,000 in Old Trafford and over 18.5 million people watching and over 500 million around the world. Thank you, Chris.
The second fight, a draw, Nigel.
That's not bad. Can you imagine if we were doing pay-per-view?
Yeah,
we're doing pay-per-view now.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Crazy. That second fight you had with Chris, the draw, you was unlucky to get the draw in that one. Did you feel you won that fight?
100%.
Yeah, you did.
I'll tell you for why. He said I hit him a low blow. How can I hit him where he's got his shorts up here?
Yeah.
He shoots right up here. Low blow. So Larry Conor give him a, point deducted. But you know what it is? I'd rather have a draw than a loss. As long as I've got that belt around my waist, I've still got £1 million in the bank.
Yeah.
And Nigel, was there ever talk of a third fight with you, Ben?
Yeah,
how far down the road did we ever get to seeing that? How close did that come?
You know what it was, Jake? I think after that fight, I think I was kind of a bit disheartened. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go. Because I think like Barry and him really wanted the third fight. But at that time, I was looking at other things to fight. I was looking at other champions to fight. You know what I mean? I wasn't really focusing on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't have an easy comeback fight after that loss to Eubank, did you? With Robbie Sims, your comeback fight with Robbie Sims. He was a tough guy as well.
It was Kid Milo.
Oh, Kid Milo. Was it? No, it was Robbie Sims.
I'm sure it was Kid Milo. And then afterwards, it was Robbie Sims, if I'm correct.
No, it's Robbie Sims and Kid Milo. Was
it?
Yeah. I'm not trying to tell you your own career, by the way. I'm just looking on your box.
But that's okay then. That's okay then. But yeah, you know what it was? Because what it was with fighting Robbie Sims, he's been in with them all as well. And if I'm going to fight, I'm not going to go back down. Because I thought to myself, let me just try and stay up there. And I'm sure. You sure it was that thing? I thought it was Kid Milo.
I'm just looking at it now. Robbie Sims and then Kid Milo, and then you went on a 10-run unbeaten run before you boxed Eubank again.
No. Before I boxed Eubank, I had the world title, didn't I?
But I'm saying you won 10 bouts like from the Eubank fight. Once you lost to Eubank, you won 10 fights on the bounce before you boxed again and picked up the world title in between that.
Oh right, because I thought I had 10 fights and no.
No. You picked the world title up in between that. Yeah, like again, you bounced back.
Yeah, I had to. I think you know what it is. I still had more to prove. And it was like. I wanted the premier belt, and at that time was the WBC.
Yeah.
And I had to go over to Italy to win that one. And I mean, you could knock somebody out in Italy, and you might get a draw. So it was a good result. But I knew I had to fight, though. I knew I had to fight because when I was Mario Galvano, he had a big glasses on. And I just looked at him. I was with some naughty people as well, like Tony Tucker, Carlton Leach, and all them lot. And he had his glasses on. I went, wait, take your glasses off. We're inside, mate. Take your glasses off. Show me your eyes. No words. I'm telling you, God is my witness. His eyes were shaking like that.
His eyes were shaking?
Yeah, they were shaking, mate. They were flickering. I knew I had him.
Really?
I knew I had him.
Do you think that's why he had the glasses on, Nigel? He's trying to...
Same feeling I had when I fought Iron Barkley. I had the same feeling I had when I boxed Iron Barkley. Because what happened with Iron Barkley, I done me sparring, done me running. All of a sudden, we come out in the middle of the ring at the press conference, and I looked at him, same with Doug DeWitt, I just looked him right in the eyes, and he done this. He looked down. Once he looked down, I knew I had him. Watch it. Watch the fight. The first thing I've come out, I done a hop, skip, and a jump, and then a big right-hander. Had him in the corner because of me, because he looked down on the ground, and I knew I had him.
I mean, people say that. People say that, Nigel, didn't they? That you can tell a lot when boxers are facing off. So you actually
100%.
believe that? You can tell whether you've got the upper hand there.
100%, Jake. 100%. Once you see the eyes going all over the place. I've got this. I've got this. You just sense it. You just know you got it. And that's the first thing I've done with Iron Barkley. Just come at it straight away. Bang. Big right hand. Had him in trouble.
It's funny, isn't it? Before the bell goes of the first round, Jake, they do the announcements and stuff. You're in the ring. And that's when you can really tell. You look across the ring and you can tell your opponents the mannerisms of him, the stare of him. His eyes like just clicking around. You think, for a hard fight, or this one's going to be easy. You know straight away, you get the feeling. It's a
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I think the only person that had a different feeling, I think it was the Eubanks.
Mm. You knew you was in for a tough night.
Yeah, of course. I think, and I was thinking, oh, I can't lose to him.
Mm.
I'd rather lose to SpongeBob than lose to him. You know what I mean? It was like that because it was very personal. You know what I mean?
But he had that mindset, Nigel, as well, didn't he, Chris?
Yeah.
He's like, he's very strong, isn't he, mentally? So,
But
yeah,
Chris,
yeah. You're both similar, I think, in that respect. You both were really driven and focused.
He's got that discipline. And you know what it is? And you know what it is? Even though he might be knackered, he'll let you know he's knackered, but he'll still be able to pull out a big shot. He just had that inner strength.
Yeah.
He had that inner strength, and I couldn't crack it. I wish I knew now what I would do. I would have attacked his body. I should have bashed his body, just like what Michael Watson did. But I was too busy looking at that big, massive head of his.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
So listen, we've got to move on to Gerald McClellan, Nigel. Just what an amazing fight. Still ranks as probably, you know, one of the best fights of the last 25, 30 years. Certainly one of my favourite fights. I remember watching it live, ITV. Obviously, you know, tragic outcome at the end of it for Gerald. But yeah, what an amazing fight. I mean, what would you remember about that? What's your memories of that fight?
Well, I'll answer your question anyway, Jake.
Yeah.
I think what it was, I was meant to fight Michael Nunn. And Michael Nunn is a 6'2" slippery southpaw. And Don King said to my agent, fight Michael Nunn, but we'll take 100 grand off. I said, I'm not taking 100 grand off. I'm world champion. And he said to my agent manager, I said, if we don't, we're going to bring in Mini Mike Tyson. Oh, I'm scared. I don't work like that. I spent 18 months in Northern Ireland, didn't know if I was coming back. We lost 6 of our guys that got blown up in Northern Ireland, in Ballykelly. And the only way that Mrs. Huggins could describe her husband was by a wedding ring, which is like, I don't know, 600 meters away from his body. So when you've been in a situation like things like that, you kind of say to yourself, I'm not scared of no man. I ain't got no fear. If I'm going out on my shield, mate. I didn't have no fear. So when he thought I was going to go, okay, I'll take the 100 grand. Matter of fact, why didn't you knock it down 200? Really? I didn't know what I said. All I said was bring him on. Bring him on. That was my attitude. Yeah. Nothing had changed. And that really kind of thought to myself, I think I'm some monk. I'm not going to lie over. And then everyone from the Sun, Mirror, Times, Guardian, News of the World, everybody today, everybody had me to be knocked out between round 1 and 3. I thought, hold on a minute. What? No, that really put some fuel to the fire, man. The wood to the fire, man. It was just burning inside. I think, oh, what, really? Yeah. I'm going to lie down? Yeah. Well, good luck, Nigel. It was all the attitude that really kind of got to me. I was so focused. Press conference and all that. What really annoyed me as well, he said to my dad, God rest his soul, he said to my dad, I'm going to hurt your boy. And my dad in his Bajan accent, you got to do what you got to do. that was my dad, you know. And I thought to myself, told my dad like that. So all these little things add up, but I was already in great shape anyway.
Yeah.
So when I come out, I looked at him, he just looked like a long streak of water. That was it. He didn't look nothing special. And after the comment, I was just eyeballing him. I was ready to have a war with him. And I mean, I was just rolling, got the rope, started rolling. The next minute, there was bang, bang, bang in my head. I was out. I was like, I'm on the floor. And then I got up. I don't even really remember round one because it's like I was hit with a baseball bat, and it was like I just walked back to the corner. Denny Mancini, God rest his soul, he come in, moved Kevin out of the way. He said to me, "Look at the state that you've got him in. Look at the state that you've got. I've been all bashed up. I'm all bashed up." I'm like, really? Really? Okay, ring the bell. So I wanted him to ring the bell, and you go back and watch the fight. The second, third, and fourth and fifth round. You go and watch. I'm chasing him around. He just bashed the granny out of me in the first round. And now if my trainer said to me, "Nige, you're taking a beating in there," Jake, I would have been like, I would have lost, I would have been disheartened.
Yeah.
Because Denny Mancini said to me, "Look at the state that you've got. Oh, that core. Yeah, come on, let's have it. Let's have it." In the second round, I'm chasing him around.
Yeah.
I'm chasing him around. It's like, that's when the only fight that I don't remember.
What, the whole fight, Nigel?
Something in my subconscious I remember every shot. I remember every shot that I threw at him. But in the fight, something in my subconscious, I don't know what happened. If you watch me, I just kept on coming forward. I didn't go backwards. I just, yeah. Well, I just kept on going forward. Because something in there just like, it's like a switched off. I just switched off. And I came walking straight at him. It's just like on what we done the other day. Remember when the guy in Talk Sport thought I've been hypnotised by my...
Yeah, that's right. Because there was that's what I said to you, didn't I? In Talk Sport, I said, did you get hypnotised by Paul McKenna? Because there was rumours circulating at the time that Paul McKenna had hypnotised you, etc.
Yeah. But I want people to understand what it was. My first marriage, I was going through an absolute nightmare, and I couldn't get her out my head. Even though I was leaving her, she's still mother of my kids, and it was like I was struggling. It's like I had nowhere else to go because I was suffering with depression, and I was smoking cigarettes as well. Well, I started smoking all through my career from the age of 8, but it was like I wanted to break these habits, and I couldn't do it on my own, and I was really it was the lowest I've ever been. And he came in, and I don't remember. All I remember was like I just had to break that hold that she had over me. A lot of men have been through that, but they didn't know. I was looking for someone to give me a quick fix to get me out of this mind, because regardless about me fighting a man with 2 arms, I'm not worried about that. I've been hit with pickaxe handles, baseball bats, everything. Not worried about that. But when a woman gets you and she gets you here, don't tell me that you lot don't know about that pain. that pain is tremendous. That, especially being the mother of your kids, that pain is tremendous. So when he got me there, that's why I thank Paul McKenna for that, because otherwise I'd have been a total mess. So that's why
nothing to do with
Were you paying Paul McKenna as part of your team? How did it work?
No, that was just once. One hypno session, that was it. Not through boxing. Absolutely nothing through boxing. Nothing. If I was going to get hypnotised, it would be bloody for Chris Eubank.
Right.
You know? So I would never use that. That's not who I am. It's like somebody, to me, like being hypnotised for boxing is like someone taking steroids or taking performance-enhancing drugs. That's the equivalent, because you're trying to... But no, that wasn't. That was for me to break that hold that my wife had over me.
So did the rumours start, Nigel? Because he was in your team and people saw him with you.
No. I mentioned it.
Yeah.
I mentioned it. I mentioned it. I want to thank Paul McKenna, not because like, oh, you hypnotised me to beat German.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it in the interview after the fight, actually, when there was in the interview when you was thanking certain people and you mentioned Paul McKenna, and I think that's where
everyone made that link, didn't they?
Yeah. But you see what it is. You got to understand. All through my career, Why didn't I use him with Eubank? Why didn't I use him for Watson? Why didn't I
Yeah,
use him? Because this was personal. This was for, I'll be honest with you, it was for Smith, for little fellas, and for my wife. All these issues that you have that you actually take in the ring with you. Not for me to go, oh, help me to beat this person. No, that's not it. I'm just beating myself.
Yeah. So listen, Nigel, I wanted to talk about the McClellan fight as well. Just mentioned within the fight. At any point during that fight, did you notice that that something was wrong with Gerald, or that things were happening?
Jake, what you got to understand is because I'm so psyched up, I'm so focused, I don't know he's blinking. I'm not. I didn't even like. You know what it is? It was like It was like I was a machine. It was like I didn't even look at him to say, oh, he's hurt. The man's trying to knock me out, and I'm worried about him.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Even listen. In round 8, I remember it clearly. I threw a left hook because he threw a right hand, knocked me right back. My head flew right back on the ring. And I remember throwing the left hook, but it was a half punch and half tie, knocked down.
Yeah.
Then when he come back up, watch straight away, uppercut, right hand, right. That I hit him. So you got to, I broke his heart straight away. So I thought to himself, when you come out for round 9, you got more of this. I didn't feel nothing. Go on.
Yeah, so I was going to say that round 9, because you hit him with a big uppercut. After that knockdown in round 8, you hit him with a big, I watched the fight the other day actually, when we were doing that stuff. You hit him with a big right hand and a big uppercut. And then from round 9, he come out, and that's when he started blinking. I think that's where...
You got to understand, there's a punch, right? I don't know if it's in round 5 or 6, right? It was the fastest punch. It's like a punch that I threw against Dan Sherry, right? Bang! I hit him so quick. But you got to think, oh mate, you think, watch the shot, and I guarantee you will say, Nige, I didn't see that shot. I watched it. You got to keep rewinding, and you look at it. Oh my gosh, I see it. I hit him so hard. It was like, to me, that's what really broke his heart. It was hardening the one when he got stopped. I know it was, because I threw it so fast. It was like, I thought, wow. And I kept on rewinding it. I don't think it was around 5 or 6 or 7, but it was right at the end of the round. Got to watch it.
Do you think that's when you were at your peak, Nigel? Is that, looking back at your career, would you say you were at the height of your powers at that time?
No, Jake, you know what? I think all through my career, I'm not going to say it was that. It was like a fight that defined my career, but it wasn't me. Even from fighting Graham Ahmed, my first fight, I still had that same intensity. All my fights were in intensity. The only time my fight was not intensity, when I had a trainer, I won't mention his name, I had a trainer who I fought a guy called Lindsey Morgan, and this guy tried to make me box, my trainer, and he hit me. I thought, oh, that hurt. I thought, what? Hurt me? That's not you. He's got to go.
Yeah.
Because it changed my whole appearance. It's like, I didn't like, I thought, I ain't training with you no more, because he changed who I was. Now, right, that's it. Come on, you want to have it? That was my attitude. But because I was with him, and I started throwing jabs and I was getting hit, I didn't like it. But that wasn't because he tried to make me into a boxer. He tried to make me into him, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, I don't think I could ever imagine Nigel Benn as a boxer. You was a warrior, mate. That's what you was. You was a guy that liked to go in there and just have it. Yeah,
I think that was it really. And actually now I've got Mark II coming along now in Conor.
Yeah, how's everything with Conor? How's training going?
I think how he actually trains, Jay, it's just a phenomenal trainer. I think how he trains, I'm not knocking down on my trainers, but how Tony's actually just kind of, wow, he's just structured him, man. He's just, wow, he's just, how he's putting all the links together, man. I'm watching him. And sometimes, I think he trains too hard. He does. He trains like 3 times a day, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. And I look at my training. He does my nutting, he comes in here, he weighs everything, and it's like, oh. And I've come here, last time I was here, or the time before, I bought, I don't know, some biscuits or something. No, you can't bring that in here, mate. You can't. He went up because I brought a packet of biscuits. You know, I'm tempting him. I'm tempting myself. But that's what he's like. He's just like, he's he's methodical, man, from his vitamins that he takes, everything. It's like, and got Danny's strength and conditioning coach. It's just, he's got the right team around him. He will go all the way.
You know what, Nigel? Like, I've obviously followed Conor all his career. I've seen the improvement. I've always backed him on, you know, when we're talking about his fights, I watch the improvement on every single fight, especially the last 18 months or so. He's just come on leaps and bounds. And you're right in what you say. You only get out what you put in this sport. And Conor, I know he's meticulous in his training, his diets, and everything he does. And you can see the results.
You need to come and watch him spar.
Yeah.
Because listen, I was listening to Macklin and somebody else talking about Conor when he fought UFC and all these at Bethnal Green. Oh, look, he's getting, he's getting hit. Oh, he's got, oh, yeah. I thought, oh, shut up. Oh, look, Conor is wild. Conor's never been wild. Just freaking down my nutting. Because at the end of the day, when Conor puts it, oh, look at that, what a spectacular. I thought, yeah, you weren't giving him the credit a minute ago. Oh, it's going to be a hard 10 round. Conor got the making of him. He was the one that went with Vargas 10 rounds.
Right.
Now, what Conor blew him out, and then the other guy, you'll see, or another, I can't remember the other
guy. Wasn't it? Your call.
Jemiah, whatever. Same thing. All these guys, Conor bangs them out. Oh, they're an easy touch. Conor's had 20 amateur fights. He ain't no Josh Kelly where he's had like 142. You know what? And everyone thinks, hold on a minute. And I mean, if my son's wrong, we're put up our own. We're not here to know. I won't blow out Conor's backside or whatever. But what he does, mate, I love what he does. And the difference is, you watch all these, I'm not being disrespectful, you had Josh Kelly in America, which I thought he lost. You had Katie Taylor, which I thought she lost, and Anthony Josh, which I think they all lost. It weren't their night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen Conor go in there, been on the floor, get up and have a war. And I see some fighters that, when they're on top, they're okay. When the pressure's been put on them,
I was going to say, I think that every fighter needs to go through that. Like, every fighter has a fight like that, Nigel. Like styles make fights. You go through a fight. It's like the apprenticeship for that world title fight that you get. You've got to go through that. Otherwise, if you don't, when it happens and it's at that level for world titles, then you're not going to come back. So I think it's only a good, and that's when I've seen the improvement from Conor. From that fight, he went back to the drawing board, back to the gym, put the wrongs right, and he's improved. Man, the last 3 or 4 fights have been incredible.
You know what? One thing is with him, I just know my son, how dedicated he is. I mean, now they're looking at Jenkins now because things retired. Because he's going to Garton. Right. So now it's going to be, he's the #1 contender. So Conor's looking for that fight, mate. And it's so funny. Listen, it's so funny. He's fighting for the Commonwealth and the British on his 17th fight.
Yeah.
I'm on the Commonwealth on my 17th fight.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. And do we think that could be at Fight Camp? Because, I mean, Eddie Hearn's talking about these fights, and I know he wants that fight with.
He's already training now. He's already on it, mate.
Yeah,
he's already on it. He's gone. He's gone.
Brilliant. We had Eddie on last week, and he was saying, listen, I know that Jenkins is an experienced guy. He said, it's not a fight. He said that I was putting to him, but Nigel come to me and Conor come to me and went, no, it's the fight that I want. He said, they're up for them fights. That's the fight that he's looking at. Come on, jump in here, mate. Come on, what's going on? Let me check out that new beard anyway. What's going on there? Because look, I had the hair done, didn't I? Look.
Yeah, it's coming on all right. I've had this middle bit filled in, so just got to let it all come through.
Yeah, look at it, man. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I had nothing there before.
British Hair Clinic.
That's it.
I was down there, got my hair done.
I want to know if they could do anything about Gray. I don't know.
Yeah, that looks good, mate. Listen, Conor, how you been?
Yeah, good, mate. Just been grafting, still been working. Just making sure I keep the weight down and that.
Fingers crossed, fight camp, man. We might be back sooner than we originally thought. Did you see that the first show in America's on June the 9th, isn't it? Which is next Tuesday. They've got their first show at the MGM Grand Ballroom.
Who's that?
Shakur Stevenson, isn't it?
Shakur Stevenson, yeah. He's fighting. That's the first show.
He's
featherweight prospect kid. So yeah, and Bob Arum's Top Rank doing boxing over there from June the 9th, and they're doing it on consecutive weeks like Eddie's doing. So it looks like it's going to be. It looks like this fight camp is going to be going ahead, and I think maybe middle of July Eddie was talking about, and
July 25th we're looking at.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
July 25th or 27th. But I'm hearing 25th. It's looking like the British and Commonwealth titles are done deal. So we're just talking money at the minute.
Figures, mate.
Yeah, just talking figures. But
the old pull up.
All important.
So, but yeah, I'll take them British and Commonwealth title. My dad won it on his 17th fight, the Commonwealth, and I'm winning it on my 17th fight, without a doubt.
That would be amazing, mate. What a piece of history that would be, that you both won on the 17th fight. It's incredible.
And in the coronavirus period as well, with no supporters there, it's sad to tell the grandkids, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's ever been done in boxing, no fans allowed.
No. Listen, I've done that. I was talking to Eddie about it last week, and I think the settings that they're going to have there and everything else, and what Eddie's planning, it's going to be spectacular. But I remember boxing in the St George's Hall up in Liverpool for England in a multi-nations tournament. I boxed an Italian kid, and there was about 3 people. I was one of the first people on. There's about 3 people in there, and it's a weird environment. Boxing in front of no crowd was the strangest thing. But I think what Eddie's got planned, it's going to be spectacular, man. He's going to be playing music.
He'll be doing it the best. All these behind closed doors show, Eddie will be doing it the best, without a shadow of a doubt. And you heard him say in the interview that all these other promoters are trying to cut fighters' purses because of the coronavirus. He's saying, "No, listen, I'll pay top dollar for these 50-50 fights." Do you know what I mean? So Matchroom's where it's at, and I can't see myself going anywhere else for the foreseeable future or the rest of my career.
When were your sparring spot, just out of interest? Have you started any sparring yet, or do you have to? I mean, what's the procedure with that? Do the sparring partners have to go into quarantine first? I mean, what's the deal with it?
Well, we have strict rules that we have to when we go in the gym. But sparring, I ain't done no sparring yet. Sparring, I'll pick back up straight away. I think the main thing is just working on things, and it's more the thinking, the boxing brain for me, rather than the actual sparring or fighting. It's more thinking about what I'm throwing, what I'm doing, ring craft, and all things like that.
Yeah, you're a great student of the sport.
Right, listen, we got 6%. I'm just letting you know.
Well, I've got my 3rd session today, Spence. I've got my strength and conditioning now, so I've got to go.
We're both going together.
Well, listen, you go, mate. Listen, Conor, best of luck, man. I can't wait to see you at fight camp. I'm looking forward to that fight, man. Styles make fights, that'll be brilliant. And yeah, you go and do what you got to do in the beards.
I'll be British and Commonwealth champion, mate.
I'll be there, mate. I'll be there. So yeah.
See you later,
Happy
mate.
days. Take care, bro.
I'm staying. I'm all right. Got 8 minutes. Go on, get lost. Go on. Yeah.
That was brilliant.
You must be very proud, Nigel.
Did you hear that?
I've seen it.
What did he say?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It's freaking match on my head, man. What are you doing? No. That hurt. Get him out.
Yeah. What you went through in your career, and that hurt. Wow.
Listen, it was friction. He hit hard. Friction.
Brilliant. Yeah, he's a good kid, man. He's very dedicated. I'm looking forward to that fight, Nigel. I'm pleased that he made.
Mark my words, he will be world champion.